Wonderful good day, ladies and gentlemen. We are now in Vancouver and we are not down on the floor of the show. No, we are now at West Hastings Street, 850 in the third floor. And that's Blackheath Resources here this morning. It's 8:30 and yeah, we want to do a lovely interview again with Jim Robertson. Jim, thank you very much for taking the time early this morning.
Well, thank you very much, Jochen.
Last time we spoke some months ago in Munich about your terrific company. Well, first of all, what has changed so far? You announced financing with a nice premium, I would say. Please comment on that a little bit.
Well, we announced that just before Christmas. That was a 40-cent financing, a 40% premium to our market. It has a half warrant that's associated with it. And we announced that financing for $2 million. So far, we've closed our first tranche of $500,000, and we're now working on completing the rest, which we hope to do in the next few weeks. We need to get some approvals, we need to do some paperwork, but it's moving along fine.
I assume it's a lot of paperwork because it's a Chinese investor, so I'm sure you have to fill out some more pages, huh?
Yeah, no, that's quite correct. It is a Chinese investor primarily, and it takes a long time, of course, to get information to and from China for review and security purposes and stock exchange. So we're working on it.
Okay, super. It was a bit quiet the last months, of course. Yeah, I was down in May with you guys on the site, and what I saw, I really liked. I think we discussed it a lot, and I have a good feeling that we hopefully get the next tungsten mine there for Europe. That's what I really hope.
Well,
yeah, the drills are turning now. That's why you are taking also the money, of course. Yeah. So please tell me what is going on the next months. What can your investors and possibly new shareholders, hopefully, can expect for 2015?
Well, you're quite right, Jochen. We want to get one or more of these into production. They're all past producing tungsten mines from Portugal, and we want to get them moving again. We had two significant drill programs going on last year, 2014, at Borralha and Covas. Those programs just wound up just very shortly before Christmas, and of course things are quiet over Christmas. We're just getting the last of the assays back now, so we hope in the next not too distant future, next few weeks probably, that we will get our news releases out with respect to results. We're moving forward with that, so of course that news will be out there. We're also looking at the possibility of completing our 43-101 resource estimate, confirming the historic resources at Covas and hopefully improving a little bit more on them. So that'll move forward, and then for 2015 we will be back at Borralha, I think, drilling. We're finding that that project is significantly larger actually than we originally thought. So we'll review the results when we finally got them, and we'll plan a drill program at Borralha. That would probably be starting in the spring. Covas will look at the assessment, the 43-101 resource estimate, to determine if we need any additional drilling there. And then we will also be looking at Bajanka, which is a project that I'm quite excited about because it has not only tungsten but also tin.
Yeah.
And
I like tin too. It's in a deficit.
Yeah, no, tin is attractive. It's quite often associated with tungsten, so it's not too far removed from our focus of being the primary tungsten producer in Europe. But we also have the tin, and it's sitting there right on the surface. There's a historic resource estimate that we want to go in and check out. So we'll be doing some trenching and some drilling at Bajanka. But that historic resource for the whole area was about, if you take the value of tin and tungsten now, about $500 million worth of tin and tungsten. Wow. And the value of the surface material, which ranges from 2 to 10 meters in depth, is all. It was $50 to $60. So that's quite a high value for something that's sitting on surface.
Absolutely,
should be simple to treat with a mobile plant. And we'll be looking at that quite closely for early production, early cash flow.
Yeah. So, and with the cash flow, then you can move on the other projects, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't take away from Bajanka. We still have hard rock potential there as well. Again, a past producing mine. So yes, with that cash flow, that will mean that we won't have to go back to market quite so often, for further equity financing.
Okay, fantastic. How many drill holes, how many meters you approximately want to do this year? What do you have a guess already?
Well, I think that at Borralha, we're still looking at relatively shallow drilling. These are sort of 100, 200 meter holes, so we're not looking at great depths to drill.
It's anywhere all on the surface.
Oh, just yes. Well, at Borralha, at Borralha, we're looking at a breccia that starts right at surface.
Exactly. I think that's the one I was walking on, right?
That was, yeah. You were treading on tungsten,
Yeah, I
Jochen.
love it. I had this certain feeling under my foot,
Yeah,
under
yeah,
my shoes.
that's good, excellent. We actually followed your footsteps, and we hope and think we did quite well. Yeah,
Fantastic.
good.
Let's assume you will have a resource estimate, which is, let's say, at least the historical one. Would this be already enough for maybe a later on production decision, or let's say something you could build on to go into production?
Well, I think both of those statements could be true. We'll have to see what the results are, of course, but certainly we know that within that Covas deposit there are high-grade areas anyway that would be a logical place to start mining. But we also know that there is the potential for additional tungsten, additional expansion. So we'll have to review those results, I think, quite closely to decide what's our best method of proceeding. And also what our financial partners are interested in doing as well, because they're becoming quite important, and the Chinese connection is certainly proving very beneficial.
Yeah, I could imagine that. But I think also there's companies like HC Stark in Germany. They should have also an eye on you guys, because that's in front of their home door, isn't it?
Well, that's very correct. At HC Stark, in fact, have visited our properties. We've had informal meetings with HC Stark, and they use and need a lot of tungsten in Europe.
I think it's like, what is it per annum? 10,000, 11,000 tons or
it's
something,
close
right?
to that, yeah. It's almost 10% of the world demand, it seemed. So that's something obviously that we are very interested in, and they are very interested in.
Yeah, so maybe an offtake or a combination or whatever would make sense.
We're not going to rush into any offtake agreements at this point in time. We want to move as far ahead as we can. But it makes a lot of sense because our Chinese partners so far are investing partners, but we have a lot of interest from industry in China and, as you say, from HC Stark and others in Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Jim, thank you very much. I like that. And yeah, it looks like that you have a busy year in front.
We do.
And I hope we can meet us soon and get some nice reporting stand from you about good results, of course.
Well, we'll certainly look forward to that, Jochen.
Super. Thank you very much, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was Jim Robertson from Blackheath Resources. Well, you heard it. A busy year is in front of the company and, of course, also of Jim and Alex. And yeah, so the point is what will come out there, what will come out from the drill campaigns. We will see it quite soon. The news flow will start. And the case, what I love is, as I have been there, I said it already in May last year, and I was very, very impressed from the whole team and from the whole property and from the real professionalism, what they have there. It is in the front, or let's say in the heart even of Europe, and this is really what the European industry needs, a tungsten supplier in Europe. That would help a lot. Thanks and bye-bye from Vancouver.